company. Harlequins and Sheffield Eagles picking up £5,000 worth of bathroom furniture from the sponsors. We're underway in the second half, and Wigan with a 10-point lead to build on, and Rovers with a 10-point deficit to claw back.
Well, Michael Maguire would have been very, very happy with the way that they finished that first half and the way that they just continually peppered on that left defensive side. They've allowed a lot of pressure on Liam Colburn, and I think that Liam Colburn will get more in the second half.
Well, if you're a Hull Kingston Rovers fan, this next statistic won't make pleasant listening, because your team have only come from behind at half-time to win once in 2010. That was against St Helens on the 7th of March. When they were 16-20 down, they went on and won 28 points to 24. They've got to come from behind here tonight, otherwise, well, that's a penalty.
Should have been.
You can't lift the legs. That's a penalty, but it's not given by Richard Silverwood.
Take nothing away, though, from the kick and chase. They really are just controlling this game of the Warriors. And this is the incident that should have been. You can see Dobson screaming at the official, completely ignored by Silverwood.
Vital 40 minutes, the most vital 40 minutes of the season coming up for these two thus far. Bill?
Really stern-faced Justin Morgan left the Rovers dressing room as they came out for the second half. And the mood apparently in the Rovers camp is positive, but they know that they've got to get points on the board early in the second half, and they've got to stay in touch with the Wigan Warriors. The main concern, one of the main concerns for Rovers, according to the coaching staff, was the kicking game. Not at their best, and that's what they're looking to improve in the second half, to turn the Warriors around.
Well, let's see how it all pans out, shall we? Here is Luluai, back it comes to O'Loughlin, now Tompkins, quick hands to Farrell. Oh, and Pat Richards puts it down.
Wasn't too bad a pass as well, and he realises it. But they're going for broke, aren't they, Wigan? A lot of people suggest that Sam Tompkins' best position is at standoff. I must say, he really has enjoyed the freedom to be able to link in into the three-quarter line from the full-back.
And it happens very quickly, sometimes we miss it. But when Sean O'Loughlin and Thomas Luluai get the ball, they run straight towards the try line and then pass the ball outside. And it's a small but highly effective thing, because that's one of the reasons why players like Sam Tompkins and the outside backs are finding that space. Too often in our sport, players with the ball run towards the sideline when they're trying to attack. They think it's a natural instinct to get around their opponent, but it squeezes and forces your outside players out of play. Wigan have managed to get rid of that habit.
Bill, I think Wigan's break interrupted you.
Eddie, just a line on Sam Tompkins. That dislocated digit has been finally put back in, but it took virtually all of half-time for the Wigan medical team to sort it out, and that means that brother Joel was left waiting for stitches in that head wound. They would have stitched it up, but they just didn't have time to treat him, so he's still out there with the strapping on.
Gee, it's a tough game, isn't it? And the kick is not bad, actually. That's a terrific little kick from Dobson.
And that's the first real positive sign that we've seen from the mercurial Michael Dobson. He's a pass master of controlling the game, and he knows that they have to get field position, something that they failed to do on a regular basis in the first 40. They need to force the error now. The defence has to be strong, but it also has to be cute. Don't give away a silly penalty.
Well, they became the first team from 7th place to win a playoff game at the weekend. Hull KR, Castleford were 7th last year. They lost here in week 1 at Wigan, 18-12. Can Hull Kingston Rovers in week 2 do what Castleford failed to do? Warrington Huddersfield is the Saturday offering for you. HD3. Again, winners survive, that's all. Whoever loses that, it's a season's end.
Pretty strong defence. They needed to up in that department as well, but they've got to try to do what Wigan have done in that first stanza, and that's play the ball extremely quickly. One thing about the Wigan defence throughout this season is that not just one goes down, they have 2, 3, sometimes 4. Difficult to get up quickly and play the ball.
Coley plays the ball to Makilorum, and Luluai, airborne, was hit. The referee had a look over his shoulder, but make sure that Luluai has got to his feet okay. He was a little bit late, the charge, but he was committed.
Yeah, he committed himself there. It was a poor kick in the end, but not surprising when you've got a player charging into you like that.
Since minute 20, Rovers have found it difficult to penetrate this Wigan defence, haven't they?
Yeah, they've worked hard. They've got so many out there. You know, Hansen 21 tackles, Farrell 20, Coley 16, O'Loughlin 18. That just shows you how keen they have been. Oh, that's a real mess.
Oh, but they've got a 6 to go here because there's a Wigan foot that swung at that ball.
And they were very lucky.
They were. It was an awful initial pass, but then Wigan tried to hack it downfield and made slight contact. Therefore, it's 6 to go for Hull KR. Here is Rhys Lovegrove.
Well, it looks as though they were confused, Rovers. The ball went behind, so who's going to get it? They've got to get themselves sorted out.
Dobson attacking the line. Gets the pass away to Newton. He's held up by Carmont and O'Loughlin. Fisher scampers in at dummy half. Rarely played better, Ben Fisher, than he has this year. And the greasy surface taking its toll on Scott Morrell. Galea down the short side with Dobson. Little dab through off the left boot. Tompkins, he's got to work this away. Does brilliantly again. Great run from Tompkins. Great relieving run. Gains 10 metres for his team.
Good positional play as well. Knows he has the pace. It's a nice little kick through from Dobson. Here we have the chasers. Scintillating form.
McAloran goes down on the third tackle. A little bit wearily played the ball to Luluai. Here's Fielden.
And this is another factor. The forwards have been getting up the advantage line. They really have controlled it.
Sam Tompkins has gone for a 40-20, but didn't quite get the angle right. Into the arms of Briscoe. Peter Fox to run it back then. Great wall of cherry and white defenders, though, moving forward.
And while Wigan don't look particularly threatened at the moment, Eddie, Hull KR have started this second half very, very well. Very positive indeed. They've completed their sets. They've had a couple of good kicks. They've asked Wigan some questions. They've had a repeat set as well. So they're actually starting to create a fatigue factor. If they can go set for set and stay patient, then they're a great chance of converting some of that field position into points.
Cockayne here on the third tackle, hangs on. 3 Wigan defenders put him down. Fisher directing the traffic from dummy half. Galea spins away from O'Loughlin's first challenge. Fisher again, gives it to Dobson. Dobson pops the ball up then. That's a good run from the substitute Matt Cook. Now Dobson off the outside of the boot. Oh, not the best. But Tompkins had to go very low for it. He's got work to do here.
But he does it well. You're right, Eddie. You put it far too much in the air. Give the opportunity. Now they cannot force the error. It's not going to be easy because they've got themselves organised at Wigan. They're shared in the workload. Good work from the forwards. Look at that, getting over the advantage line. And they're keen to get on with it. Could be a penalty here.
Eddie, what's amazing about Sam Tompkins, he's played 20 games at standoff this year, and then in the 9 of the last 10 matches he's reverted to full-back. It's incredible that you can almost change position with such ease, and he's looked again to be one of the best players in the competition, having such a significant shift. It's a dramatically different role. It demands a different physical effort and certainly concentration and positionally. There's many differences between full-back and standoff, and yet he's done it remarkably well.
Yes, he has. And every time he either makes a mistake or gets tackled, of course, the opposition supporters cheer loudly because they know that the threat has gone. Such is the reputation that Sam Tompkins has got for himself.
Well, I think it's full-back in the modern-day rugby league, isn't it? Amos Roberts looked, in my opinion, the best player in the competition when he was at full-back earlier in the season. So, again, if you've got your most talented attacker, you want him at the back in the #1 shirt.
Darren Lockyer did that for so many years, didn't he, for his club in Australia, Brisbane, and indeed for the Kangaroos from time to time. Not bad if we're comparing Sam Tompkins with Darren Lockyer. A bit early in the piece, I know, but let's clutch at the straw.
Oh, he's a talent, don't worry.
Morrell, crossfield kick. Luluai tidies up.
Oh.
Good chase.
Well, that's another perfect example. Wigan have conceded less tries from kicks than anybody else in this competition because they don't just see it as the responsibility for the wingers and the fullback. Everybody gets involved. Thomas Luluai making that effort there to get to the kick.
Eddie, I was only going to say, in comparison, you make comparison with Sam Tompkins and Darren Lockyer. There's some ingredients that they both share: speed, skill, and an awareness. They have that awareness of a game. And I know Sam Tompkins got a long way to go yet, But I think that you know, there's a lot about Sam Tompkins to like in any position that he plays.
There's much to be admired. You're absolutely right. Luluai, can he make a better kick? No, not really. Straight down the throat of Briscoe. It's a good chase, though, from Wigan. Absolutely solid. There was no way through then for Sean Briscoe.
It has to be, though, Eddie, but it's not as effective as it had been in that first stanza, mainly due to the fact that you can see that Hull Kingston Rovers now, they're nearly over the halfway line, only on the second tackle. In the first 40, they never allowed the visitors any chance whatsoever.
Matt Cook again, only his second appearance in 7 weeks last week against Hull. Lovegrove.
Well, they're getting back to basics now, the Rovers. Getting some sort of rhythm into their play.
Josh Hodgson's on. Galea, always a threat when he carries the ball. Last tackle, wants to play quickly and does. Hodgson has lost his footing and is then clobbered by Fielden.
I think he might have done a bit of damage to himself as well. Didn't look right when he took that ball. He seemed to be okay, though. Just seemed to slip. Oh, I thought he may have injured himself.
Liam Farrell again for Wigan. He's played each of the last 15, this young man, 20 years of age.
I like him. He looks for work. Doesn't shy.
Penalty here. High tackle, grapple tackle, says the referee.
Well, Josh Hodgson, see there quite clearly. Hand underneath the chin. Spotted by the official. That won't help the cause. Just at a time when you just got a feeling that perhaps Rovers getting back into some sort of rhythm, that they're utilising the big forwards, but Wigan have yet to come down on their right-hand side in attack. Remember, in the first half, they just completely mesmerised the winger, Liam Colburn, on the left-hand defensive section.
Well, Wigan here, there is Colburn out on the wing, but they're going the other way, away from him, with Luluai. And that's a good ball from O'Loughlin, a good run from Harrison Hansen. Suddenly Wigan are on the front foot, courtesy of that penalty. Luluai, here comes the runner, which is McAlorum. Desperate moments here for Hull KR. Hansen finds O'Loughlin, he attacks the line. Good tackle by Galea. It's the last tackle for Wigan here. And Luluai! I think he's got this down, you know. The try is given by Silverwood. He just had a little look, and Luluai pinched one from dummy half. It's his international position, of course, Thomas Luluai. It's possibly the position he'll be playing in next year. He played hooker in the Four Nations for New Zealand last year, and as I say, he might be earmarked to play in that position when Mark Riddell goes home and the new recruits arrive from Australia in 2011. But in 2010, Luluai has just pitched one here in the playoffs.
He went for the power play. He got himself low. I'm not so sure. I am not so sure that that's down. I think that might be short.
It's down eventually, but was the momentum stopped?
That's what I think. This is the penalty Hodgson gave away. But I honestly feel that he is short to start with.
Oh, maybe not there. Maybe not there. Maybe it's a good call from Richard Silverwood. It could probably not be denied by the video referee, to be fair.
Well, Wigan have punched them that many times repeatedly in the guts, Eddie, in the middle of the field, that eventually Rovers dropped to the knees. It was a submission that took about 10 minutes because they've worked their way upfield and ground their way through this Hull KR side. It was certainly a tough one, but not tough enough to live with the pace that Wigan have played in the middle of the field.
Luluai's try, and blood streaming still from Joel Tompkins. That needs attention.
It's great to see, though, when you get a side that's full of confidence, that they're looking gloomy at the Rovers because they know that there may be more to come. Really due to that fact that they're playing with so much vim and vigour. And when you get a little half-back come hooker, he's not the biggest, is he, Thomas Luluai, just squeezed in. Not the nod. He's worked hard tonight as well, Fielden. They all have. It's been a good performance by the forwards.
Here goes Riddell. That's a good run from him.
Well, he caused all sorts of troubles in the first 15 minutes of this game.
Here comes Harrison Hansen, gets the ball away to Carmont. Now it's Richards. He saw a chance down the line, but then decided to cut in field. Mick Potter watching on here. He has to make the unenviable choice on Sunday between the winners of the two matches tonight and tomorrow. Might be Wigan, could be Warrington. Who on earth would you choose? Gleeson! Gleeson! It's going to be Wigan, I think. Wigan are going to make one of the choices for Mick Potter. Gleeson goes through the defence. Hull Kingston Rovers just starting to fade a little. And Martin Gleeson with a big smile on his face because he knows that Wigan are now so close to being just 80 minutes away from the grand final. It's a big call on the way for Saints on Sunday. Who on earth would they pick?
They won't be denied now, and you can see that the Rovers defence are hanging out. As soon as they offloaded there, poor old Liam Colburn has had a very, very bad night. They've launched so much towards him. Him and his centre partner, Chris Wellham, they've just had far too many coming at them. What do I do? Wellham takes the dummy. Gleeson, many years ago, he was a pass master at that, and I think he knows, and I think the Warriors fans know. And that just about sums it up. Prescott says, I reckon we're only 80 minutes away now. The next game to the grand final.
Martin Gleeson's just scored the 130th try of his career, and an absolutely crucial one as well. It just might break the hearts of Rovers. Richards has added the extras. 36-14. You cannot see Hull KR coming back from this. And what a dilemma faces St Helens on Sunday.
Defence cut to ribbons when you stand back and allow them to offload like that. You know you're going to be in trouble. You're backpedaling all the time. You've no answer for it.
Michael Maguire, Sean Wayne delighted with that try. Oh, here we go. This is Fieldham now. I mentioned the dilemma that Saints have, of course. St Helens with a side that closed down the old Central Park for Wigan before they moved here to the JJB Stadium that was the DW Stadium that is. And Wigan went to Knowsley Road earlier this year and won what we believe to be the last ever big derby between the two of them. Well, there might be another one coming.
Beautiful
it all
kick.
depends what happens, of course, on Saturday night.
Offside.
At Warrington, offside, you're right.
Corner Lachlan to be deemed by the official, Richard Silverwood. He's got it right, you know. He's spot on. Good combination, working with the touch judge on that far side. Beautiful kick, though. But you could see when that run from dummy half from Mark Riddell just shows you that this Rovers defence is very tired in and around the ruck area. They've had to do some work in defence.
Vella for Rovers. They won't pack it in, Hull KR. 21.5 minutes to go. They get another penalty. Now, Wigan piggyback downfield on the backs of a penalty. Can Hull KR do the same? Down to Bill, quickly.
Eddie, a brief word on Peter Fox, and I think he's carrying a problem. Could be an arm injury. He's had 1 or 2 visits. Remember, he got really thumped to the ground, lifted and dumped in a tackle in the first half. Whether it goes back to that, well, Fox is definitely struggling.
I think he was the man also who fielded that kick downfield that they were caught offside at Wigan, and I think he might have got a stray boot as well. Here it is. He might have done off O'Loughlin.
Yeah, I think the knee made contact.
This is Newton now for Rovers. Oh, that's a great offload to Josh Hodgson. Couldn't get the ball away to Rhys Lovegrove. They're desperate for a score here, Rovers. Briscoe, Gallia will charge it up the middle. Josh Hodgson in at dummy half, 5 metres away from the Wigan line. try here would give them hope. Dobson fires the pass to Cocaine. Here is Fox. 4 men surrounded him, so he came back this way to Briscoe. And Briscoe suddenly is absolutely enveloped by Wigan defenders. Hodgson on the last. Dobson slides the kick in. I was going to say it's too strong. It isn't at all. Tompkins had to run the ball out and was carted over the line by Cocaine.
Did the right thing as well, did Sam Tompkins. You never take the chance. You've got your back to the opposition. You don't know what's coming through. You want to give a try away or the opportunity when you're 36-14 up front. The big fella, Palliasina, is about to enter the scene.
He's going to replace Andy Coley.
But on that attack from Rovers, you could see how well drilled this Wigan defence has been. It's been quite superb, completely the opposite from what we've seen from the Rovers. Whenever time Wigan's got the ball out wide, Rovers' defence looks totally confused, and yet, straight through the legs of Dobson.
Dobson was nutmegged from 60 metres.
And that point I was making it is just that, Wigan's defence has been so solid. How about that one? Well, at least he didn't touch it.
Steve-O, I think we saw 2 significant plays in the last set of 6 that we need to see more of. One was the Clint Newton offload that enabled Hodgson to go a little bit further down the field. They need to offload the ball a bit more. Secondly, the Dobson kick on last play that got them the repeat set. They can do a little bit more of that. They can put themselves back into this game. There's still plenty of time left on the clock.
Galea will run the ball at Palliasina, and he was clawed to the ground by him and Fielden. Dab over the top to turn Tompkins around. A fumble from Tompkins. Another set of 6 here. Oh, hang on, the referee has said he grounded, has it? He's also, Mizzy may be saying it was a knock-on. It's a goal line dropout anyway. Tompkins looks confused.
Well, that's going backwards. Doesn't take a touchline. That's not a knock-on.
He said it's grounded.
Oh, well, I thought that was a pickup. There is a difference.
He's ruled that Sam Tompkins has grounded the ball.
Well, this is just a pickup. It's a pickup.
Actually, I think he grounds it, Steve, with his right hand.
Well, to me, he picks the ball up.
But if his right hand pushes it down, this isn't probably the best angle to show us, but his right hand forces the ball there on the ground, that shot.
Well, he forces the ball with the right hand to stop it, probably, doesn't he? Anyway, it's academic because the goal line dropout's been taken.
Tremendous defence, look at that. 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. And it's been a feature of Wigan this year, and they were so disappointed with their defence at times against Leeds, allowed them to get back into the game, but it has been tremendous tactics tonight. Sheer power in the forwards. They've got over the advantage line, completely ripped them apart, haven't they?
It's Matt Cook on tackle number 3, plays the ball to Hodgson. This is Morrell. Morrell, the engineer in charge last week. Hodgson. Suddenly Wigan just slightly on the back foot here with Vella. Harrison Hansen flew out of the line.
You know, another thing that the Rovers have stopped doing. Early in the game, they were doing a lot of dummy runners. People running off the ball. I'm afraid they're not doing that now.
Ball has ricocheted here. Oh! Is it another goal line dropout? Yes, it is. Lovegrove was hunting something then.
Well, it was a neat kick by Dobson. He knew exactly the way, and I think it comes off the head of Lulawai. How was this for the header? Yeah, he didn't know where it was. Lovegrove was pretty close.
Good pressure from Rovers.
And it's what they needed as well. They really had to get back into this game.
Yeah, it's tremendous pressure, and as I said, the Dobson kicking game is significant to everything that Hull KR do, particularly in finishing their sets, and they've certainly done it better this half than they did in the first half. Whether the scoreline now is just too far gone at 36-14 is I think Wigan are playing well enough to go on and win this match. They're certainly defending well enough at the moment, but Hull KR can probably do no more than what they are doing at the moment. They're completing the set, they're going down, they're threatening the line, they're finishing off, they're getting repeat sets. So it's possible they can convert that into points.
Matt Cook takes the ball back and gets a penalty for a strip.
I thought he lost it there, the impact. The fingertips involved in this. Yeah. You find that Farrell just had a little bit of a roll with the fingers. That was sufficient.
Hodgson Vella up the middle.
Well, Wigan coach Michael Maguire will be saying, come on, we've got to keep it. Keep that line intact. Do not give away a try. Do not give them a sniff.
This is Chris Wellen.
But look at the Wigan defence. It's man on man. Right across the line there.
Morel. Dobson. Dobson to Newton. Oh, and he got the pass away, and Richards read the script perfectly. He was looking for Cockayne. And Cockayne, frustration shows, and he has 2 snaps at Pat Richards.
It all comes about by positional sense in defence.
Now, earlier on, Pat Richards spotted something on the field. It looks like, is it a cigarette lighter that's been thrown from the crowd behind the post there? It's a bit silly, really. This is Carmont. This is a no-smoking stadium, apart from anything else. Richards drives it forward. Riddell waits. Centre field for Wigan.
They'll be quite happy now. Wigan, they'll camp down here.
Paliasina, those big legs of his pumping away. Riddell to Luluai. This is Joel Tompkins.
Been a mighty effort from these young Wigan forwards.
Tompkins is in the line at dummy half. Here is Luluai. Now it's Fielden. And Fielden for the line, legs lifted. Lifted by Hodgson to stop his progress. Last tackle here for Wigan. Luluai will hoist the kick wide, looking for Pat Richards. Best in the business at clutching them out of the air. Stabs it to the in goal, picked up gratefully by Briscoe. So they're not making any penetration, are they?
No, not the best kick either, but it was good position there by Sean Briscoe. And now not standing square.
Well, the penalty count's rising. 19th penalty we've just heard from the whistle of Richard Silverwood. 10 to Hull KR, 9 to Wigan.
It was quite open there. You could see Luluai, Riddell. It's lost the plot. Not talking to each other. Boy, Harrison Hansen felt that.
He did, Clinton. With the charge on the first, just inside their own half. Here's Jason Netherton now. Gets them over halfway, but only just.
Bit of change in tactics by the Rovers. They need something. The time's just ticking away. They're going to come up with something, and this could be it.
Great run from Newton. This is Hodgson, and he's still going, Hodgson.
They've got numbers there, though, haven't they? They're super fit, Wigan.
Morel. Vella.
It's as though they're left with no other option but just putting the kick in.
Dobson again. Short ball. Clint Newton. Great defence from Wigan. Defence has been sound tonight so far after the 20th minute. Dobson with the kick. Oh, could be a try here for Fox.
I think it is.
Could be a try for Fox. I think he got fingertips to this.
Yeah. He took the gamble, did Sam Tompkins. And I think it's gone against him. It's a neat kick by Dobson. We knew they were going to go for it. Because of this strong Wigan defence, it's only been their option. He's onside. Fox comes from behind, and that is try time. That is well played. For once, the kick from Dobson has brought reward.
Peter Fox was very quick there. Tompkins was going to let that ball go over the dead ball line. Second try for Fox, confirmed by video referee Ian Smith. 16 now for 2010 for Peter Fox, 2 tonight. He got the try in the playoff defeat against Wigan last year as well. And he's got 2 here tonight, Peter Fox.
Super little dribble through, wasn't it? On that short blind side, Dobson pushed it through. He took a gamble, and it did not pay off for the youngster Sam Tompkins.
I think Wigan have moved away, by the way, from as we watch this. The stewards have got a bit of a problem, but we'll watch here as Fox touches down again. Wigan are supposed to be gathered behind their own try line, but something has happened over there, and Wigan have refused to stand there. And the stewards are doing their best to try and stop any bother. I mean, they're very foolish if they throw things onto the field, coins or cigarette lighters or whatever. If it hits the wrong part, it could put somebody's eye out. Stupid from the fans. You've been praising Hull Kingston Rovers supporters all year of what they've added to the Super League scene. But obviously something has gone on over there. Missed it though, has Dobson. 36-18 though. Still should be a winning lead, shouldn't it?
Well, it should be, but anything can happen in rugby league circles. And that is the first time, you know, that Sam Tompkins has not gone for broke and say, I'll push it away.
Absolutely, Steve, and that highlights the problems when a fullback has sometimes, the decisions he has to make. Very often we're critical and we say, oh, why did he knock that back? Why did he run that into why did he force that ball? Because they have to make split-second decisions. There's a great example of what happens when you think that ball's going to roll dead, I'll just let it go. And I know he'd regret it straight away. He was absolutely filthy on himself. He was very, very upset at the decision that he made. So sometimes you're better off taking safety first, have another dropout, and see what happens from the next set of 6.
Well, especially when you're leading 36-14 at that time.
It's 12 minutes to go. And Hull KR, with the try from Peter Fox under their belts, believe that perhaps there's something in this game still for them. Dobson. Cocaine.
Well, they need a penalty. That will certainly help them. And discipline now by Wigan in their defence. That's gone backwards, but look at that.
They held off penalty. O'Loughlin was held off the ball by Ben Cocaine.
But how slow are the Rovers to respond to this? Look, hanging around. Cocaine went for the man rather than the football. Fair play to Sean O'Loughlin, and that's happened a few times in this game. Wigan have been too smart, too quick, and fully deserved to win this game, which I think they will.
You know, some teams in sport using injustice as a motivating factor, and it wouldn't surprise me if Wigan, who perhaps feel a little bit aggrieved at the controversial circumstances in which they lost last week to Leeds, have used that as some form of inspiration. They've been very strong tonight, haven't they? Dominant in most aspects of the game, and they're going to cause some more pain here in the last 10 minutes.
Interesting choice of words, Phil. Controversial. Lulawai through a gap. We'll come back to that in a moment. Here is Joel Tompkins! That has seen it. Nothing controversial about that try. Michael Maguire, I think, knows the team will survive another week. Well, maybe controversial. Should he be on the field? Blood coming down from that head wound. Not been stitched. But anyway, Tompkins takes the try. Brave effort from him. And Wigan Warriors on their way to next weekend. And a match against who? St Helens or Leeds? It'll be mouth-watering.
Oh, it sure will. And well-deserved from Joel Tompkins. He's worked overtime tonight. Really has come forward, hasn't he? I mean, look at this. Cocaine not going for the ball, going for the man, gives away a silly penalty. And it's just sheer strength. Hanging back. Nice step too. He'll want to see that a few times. Oh, very nice indeed. He'll be showing that to his brother a few times, ain't he? What about the step, Sam?
Ever present this year, Joel Tompkins. This is his 56th consecutive appearance, and Pat Richards here with the opportunity to add 2 more tries. 40-18 it is, 2 more points. 40 points to 18 it is. This for 42-18. Oh, he's drifted it over the top of the bar tremendously. He's brought his kicking boots tonight, all right. 42-18, Wigan. Right, back to the debate about the controversial win last week. What was controversial about it?
Well, some Wigan supporters feel that the foul play by Danny Maguire on George Carmont, when Richards brought in the left-hand side of the field, was worthy of more than just a penalty kick from that distance. Now, a long way out to give a penalty try, but it did appear a try-scoring opportunity inside the last 10-15 seconds of the match. And I very often see many teams in football and other sports, really, when an incident like that happens, they store it up and use it as inspiration to get on and win the big prize.
OK, I take your point. Did any of these Wigan supporters mention Joel Tompkins' little kick at Maguire?
One or two did, and felt that he probably should have been suspended as well for that. So they're fair in both respects.
OK. Just like to keep the record straight, because Rhinos fans will be on your back.
Yes, I've got a full security team around me next week at Headingley.
Here is Riddell. Well, Wigan are moving forward. 8 minutes to go, 42-18. It's the end of the road for Hull Kingston Rovers.
And that's been the key word, forward. That's what they've done all night.
O'Loughlin. Here's Tompkins. Little dab over the top. He's after this himself. Sam Tompkins! Oh, he hit the pass away to Richards. Richards just couldn't take it in. They're trying to come up with all the tricks now.
That's why he's such a talented player, because he has the confidence in his own belief. I'm a good player. No one has to tell me. I know myself. And Richards knows he has blown another opportunity to score.
Looked as though it was a forward pass anyway. But yeah, still, there was tremendous skill on show.
Oh, unbelievable. He's had an outstanding game.
Oh, here comes Clint Newton. Clint Newton, oh, has Peter Fox been felled? He might have been, but here goes Briscoe. Briscoe's on his own. Wants a quick play, the ball to Dobson. Dobson goes wide and finds Morrell. Morrell goes wider and finds Fox, who's on a hat-trick. Great defence, though. Wigan have funneled back. There are so many numbers there. Farrell brings Morrell down. Now it's with Briscoe. Hodgson trying to spin out of the tackle, but Wigan back so quickly in numbers to defend their line.
You know, Michael Maguire, the Wigan coach, he'll look at that and say that was one of the highlights of the game. The way that they got back in numbers.
Colbon gets the ball away to Wellham. Scragged to the ground by Joel Tompkins. Here is Mick Vella. Here is Joel Clinton. Oh, it is Vella, I'm sorry. Dab over the top by Cocaine is a bit of a waste. Tompkins will run it back.
Oh, that was a high shot.
That was high.
Silly play by the centre. And he knows it. OK, Sam Tompkins is a stepper. And often you leave out the lazy arm, but there was no malice in it. But it was into the face. Such a difficult man to pull down, isn't he? They know it's all over. It's been a brave effort. But they've come up against a side that have really rejuvenated themselves after the disappointment of losing at Leeds last week. Little smile on the face of Richard Silverwood, who again has had a fine game, controlled it well.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see who gets the nod for the big day at Old Trafford on the 2nd of October. Phil Bentham's the man in the middle tomorrow, Warrington and Huddersfield. Richard Silverwood had Wembley. He'll have the big double. But Phil Bentham has been champing at the bit. He wants a big match. O'Loughlin. There's as much a contest amongst the referees for the showpiece matches as there is amongst the players.
Certainly is. And again, this guy, Liam Farrell, really has worked overtime, not only with ball in hand. There's 37 tackles already in this game.
Well, it's amazing when you look at the number on his back, Steve-O. He's got 25, which shows the thinking at the start of the season. He wasn't really going to be in the first choice side, but he's developed and improved and been given a chance by the coach, Maguire. You know, picked in front of Phil Bailey, who's played for Australia at times, and yet the Wigan side and coach Michael Maguire's had faith that the long-term future of the club lies with Liam Farrell.
Well, I'm with you, Phil. I've always said, you know, if they're good enough, give the lads a chance. Forget about what age and
some big guns coming over next year, though, isn't there, for Wigan from Australia? Some big guns from Melbourne.
And don't worry, the youngsters will live to it. Any drop in form, I think Michael Maguire is the sort of coach who'll say, you know, even though you've got a big name, doesn't guarantee you're going to get selected, and that's how it should be.
Jeff Lima, Ryan Hoffman and Brett Finch, the three big name signings coming to Wigan next year. We're talking a lot about Wigan. Hull Kingston Rovers are going out of the competition. It's been an excellent season again for them. They finished 7th in the table. They will forever remember the win last week against Hull to get this far. And well, it's steady progress, because they didn't win in the playoffs last year, did they, Hull KR? And Justin Morgan, maybe, just maybe, when they look back, they'll say, well, was the game at the KC Stadium last Saturday, was that our grand final?
Well, it probably was, Eddie, but the thing is that Justin Morgan knows that they're improving each year. That's all you can expect from a coach, and he fine-tunes it. Let's not forget, they will have Willie Mason. He will make one big impact. They will have a forward pack that will match any in Super League next year.
Carmon down the line finds Richards, puts the brakes on, comes back this way to Chewson. Another of the bright young things at Wigan, only 20s, figured in the last 11 as well. Tompkins to Luluai, Gleeson, quick hands to Goulding, forward.
Yeah, he just had to reach forward, and I think that the face and the grin from Daryl Goulding just said it all. Yeah, see quite clearly. Touch judge quick to nod to Mr. Silverwood. Nice to see the touch judges and the referees working together at a crucial time.
Well, we're going to go
under pressure.
Yeah, they are. We're going to going through. We've got Wigan, who finished top. We've got Saints, who finished second. We have Leeds, who finished fourth. Will Warrington tomorrow night be able to make it the full set from the top 4 club? Huddersfield finished fifth. They'll have a big say.
Well, Huddersfield, I think, let themselves down last week. Played well enough to progress to week 2, but not well enough to continue with that sort of form. And Warrington at the moment would be my favourite city to progress through from that match. But can't wait for it. Should be another entertaining game as Galea breaks the line here and shows that there's still some fight left in this Hull KR side.
Yes, credit them, because they're keeping going to the end. Morel with one of those little trademark kicks. Tompkins will be dumped in the in-goal area. They'll get one more set of 6, Hull KR, to try and get over the line once more. Just give their supporters even more to think about in the dark months of winter that lie ahead. They forced 4 goal line dropouts. Wigan have had to drop out from under their post 4 times.
But the difficult thing, Eddie, and a lot of people talk about forcing goal line dropouts, converting this into a try is the next phase, isn't it? You've got 6 players here now. If you can get the ball without it going out of play, just kicks it half the way to Lee, doesn't he?
He does. Great thump on it right to halfway. Morel gives it to Vela. Now, can they score the last try of their season in 2010, Hull KR? They've got 5 more tackles remaining. And they now have a penalty. So they've now got 6 more tackles remaining. Clinton will drive it forward again. He's been good since he arrived, start of the season. Fisher's played well all year. Morel and Galea. Still going, Galea. Great run from Ben Galea. Wigan hold him out though. Fisher. Morel on the half volley to Dobson. Kick over the top from Dobson, looking for Fox. Picked up though by Richards. It's back to 0 to knock on. The scrum won't have time to form. Wigan march on. Hull Kingston Rovers season is over. Gallant effort in the playoffs from the Robins, but it's Sean O'Loughlin, Pat Richards and Wigan who move on, and Justin Morgan will begin the plans for next year. Gallant effort from Rovers. 12-6 up after 10 minutes. They were going toe-to-toe with the Wigan Warriors, but Michael Maguire knows as he strides from the gantry here that they will move on, and Wigan are in the next phase of the race to Old Trafford, and they have 80 minutes to go next week, but we don't know yet where they will play. St Helens now have the mighty conundrum, Phil. Wigan at home, last ever game at Knowsley Road, or the winners of Warrington Huddersfield.
It should be compulsory that they have to pick Wigan. Wigan entertain St Helens for the very last game at their historic home, Central Park. It would be a fitting end, I think, to the rivalry that's existed for over 100 years between Wigan and St Helens.
But Mick Potter would never be forgiven if Wigan won.
Well, it would be the right end, and let's have a see here whether Sam Tompkins also feels that way.
Yes, he's the man of the match. He's talking to Bill.
Sam, first of all, Wigan fans will want to know, how's that finger?
It's all right. Just popped out in the first half, but it's not too bad now.
Well, after last week's disappointments, this was more like it, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We were massively disappointed last week, and we knew that this week we had to turn up, and we sort of owe it to the fans after last week. It's a good game for the neutrals to watch, but I'm sure it wasn't for all these lots, so we owed it them.
I suppose in a way that must have cheered you up a bit, the disappointment that you felt.
Yeah, I think it's given us a bit of a kick up the bum, and now we realise that we can't go into games and turn the ball over too cheaply.
Well, of course, one step closer. The next step, conceivably, could be St Helens. We don't know what's going to happen on Sunday. That might happen, mightn't it?
Yeah, well, we're concentrating on ourselves. We've beat every team this year at some point, so there's no reason why we can't do it next week.
Well done tonight, Sam. Another Man of the Match award. £100 for charity as well as the champagne. Where's the money going to go?
It'll go to the special care baby unit at Wigan Hospital.
Thanks, Sam. Well done. Let's bring Mark Riddell in. Mark, the clock counting down on your stay here at Wigan, of course. You don't want it to end, do you?
No, I don't want it to end now, We've got ourselves in a good position now after the disappointment of last week, and hopefully the boys can take a bit out of tonight, and we can have a good effort next week.
I mean, what was the difference? What made the difference tonight? Attitude, what?
Well, I think we were a bit more patient in the first half. I think our completions were 85%, so we just wanted to be patient, put the pressure on Hull KR, and slowly grind them away, and we got the result in the end. We thought we'd be able to get them in the back end of that second half.
And I suppose defence, as much as anything, would have pleased you. There was that set where I think it was 4 or 5 sets you had to defend, goal line dropouts, so you had to do a bit of work in that respect as well.
Yeah, we did. We were speaking about it after each set when we were restarting play, that we needed to test ourselves for the weeks ahead, and the boys put in a great effort tonight. We defended really well, and we're going to need to do that next week.
Wherever you go.
Yeah, who knows?
Thanks, Mark.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's the big question. Where will Mark Riddell and Wigan be next week? Will they be at St Helens? Will they be at Leeds? They're first through to the penultimate stage of the race to Old Trafford. 42-18 they have beaten Hull Kingston Rovers. And, they ground them away, according to Mark Riddell. Fair comment, Steve?